What is a preposition? Well, the name itself suggests what it is. Pre means before. So, a preposition is a word placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relationship with other parts of the sentence. In other words, it shows the relation in which the person or thing denoted by the noun stands to something else. The noun or pronoun which follows a preposition is said to be governed by it. One of the most common errors we see in error correction sentences is based on preposition. Preposition has paramount importance in English grammar because without it, the meaning of a sentence cannot be conveyed properly. Look at the example given in the slide. In this sentence, on is the preposition. Take away that on from the sentence, we will get a ridiculous sentence. The cat is the table. This shows how important preposition is in giving right meaning to a sentence. There are 8 parts of speech in English, and preposition is one of them. The 8 parts of speech are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. We can see plenty of prepositions in English language. Each one is unique and it has its own meaning. When the prepositions change, the meaning of the sentence will also change. Therefore, a student of English language must have a sound knowledge in prepositions. Otherwise, he or she cannot identify the preposition based mistakes in a sentence. Do you know? Preposition is one of the unique features of English language. In other languages, especially in most of the Indian languages, we cannot see prepositions. So, for non native speakers of English, preposition is a difficult proposition. This is the first problem. Look at an example given in the slide. 2 words are underlined, is and to. Is a helping verb and to is a preposition. If we translate this sentence into our mother tongue, we can see that these underlined words disappear because in most of the Indian languages, there are no helping verbs or prepositions. There are 5 words in the English sentence, but its mother tongue translation will have only 3 words. Because of this, we have every chance of making mistakes when we use prepositions. The second problem is that a preposition does not have a fixed meaning. There is no hard and fast rule regarding the meaning of a preposition. That is, its meaning varies from sentence to sentence and from context to context. Look at examples given in the slide. There are 3 sentences. In each sentence, we can see the same preposition, for, and in each sentence, the meaning of for is quite different. In the first sentence, preposition for relates to a person, you, waiting whom, for you. In the second sentence, for indicates duration of time. And in the third sentence, for stands for the remembrance of God. Only constant acquaintance with prepositions will help us to understand its change in meaning in various situations. As preposition is absent in our language, we make mistakes while using them. There are 3 types of errors we make regarding preposition. The first one is we use preposition at unnecessary places. This is unwanted. Look at the sentence given in the slide. Here the preposition in is not at all required. This is because preposition should not be used before the word abroad. So it is wrong to say he is working in abroad or he is going to abroad, the correction is working abroad or going abroad. Unnecessary words at unwanted places is a grave mistake. The second type of error is not using preposition where it is necessary. In most of the sentences in English language, we can see prepositions. So while writing or speaking English, we must make sure whether a preposition is required or not in a particular sentence. It is quite common that we often forget to use prepositions. Look at the second sentence. We can see a blank in that sentence. A preposition is required there. Without a preposition, the meaning of the sentence is incomplete. The preposition which should be added in that sentence is of. The sentence should be like this: do not boast of your success. Now, the third and the most important error as far as preposition is concerned is using wrong preposition. Quite often, we are confused by the meaning of certain prepositions. So we tend to use them at wrong places. This is because the logic of our sentence construction is influenced and controlled by our mother tongue. Remember, English is quite different from our mother tongue. Here, the preposition in is used. Can we find anything wrong in it? Certainly not. It is a direct English translation of a sentence in our mother tongue. Here, this preposition in is wrongly used. The correct preposition is neither in nor on, but by. Therefore, we should ask, what is the time by your watch? Sounds odd, isn't it? Well, this is English, and this is the way English people speak. Non-native speakers of English think in their mother tongue and change those thoughts or sentences into English word by word. This process is a main reason for errors. Let us be aware of it. One of the most important functions of preposition is to indicate time. Different levels of time are expressed by using different prepositions. For example, when we say, you should come on time, we mean that you should come at a time arranged, not before or not later. In other words, we mean the exact time. But when we say, you should come in time, we mean that you should not come late. When the preposition is changed, the sense of time is also changed. Look at the prepositions given in the slide. At, on, in, during, by, and for. They indicate different points or levels of time. Look at the examples. Let us consider the prepositions one by one. Take the preposition at. It is used for a certain moment or point of time. In the example, at indicates the correct point of time of train's departure. Similarly, we say at noon, at sunset, at midnight, etc. It is also used for festivals which mark a point of time in the year, like at Christmas and at Easter. Now on. The preposition on is used for a specific day, whether it is given as a date, a day of the week, or as a special day in the year with a name of its own like Independence Day or New Year's Day. In the example, on is used before Friday, a day of the week. Preposition in is used before words which denote a period of time like in the summer, in September, in the year of 1947, etc. Here, in the example, the preposition in is used before a year 1962. In is also used to show the total length of time taken for the completion of some activity or operation. For example, he ran the distance in 3 minutes. The preposition during is used to express the idea that an occurrence continues or a situation persists throughout the whole of a specified period. In the example, the word during expresses such a continued situation. The preposition by is used to denote the latest time by which something was or is to be done. The implication is that it may be done before that but not after. In the examples, by indicates before or within next Friday, not after that. And finally, the preposition for. It is used to show the lapse of time during which something takes place or a state of affairs persists. The given example says that 24 hours has gone past during the rain. Here, the duration of the time of an action, that is raining, is mentioned. Look at these prepositions. They all indicate time. Actions take place at a particular time and place. And these prepositions tell us about the timings of these actions. The preposition from is normally used with to or till or until. It is used with the starting point of any action. See the first example given in the slide. Since is used with a point of time in the past from which some action began and continues till the time of speaking. It is often used with a present perfect tense or a past perfect tense. Look at the second example. The action live started in the past and it continues till the present time. So since is used here. The preposition for is used for a period of time. It shows how long an action lasts. Here the duration of time must be mentioned. The third example clearly states the duration of time, that is 3 months. So, for is used here. The preposition during is used with known periods of time. For example, during summer, during winter, etc. Look at the given example. In this sentence, the word holidays indicates a known period of time. So during is aptly used in the sentence. Throughout is used to mean the entire length of time. It indicates the wholeness or entirety of an action. The given example says that it rained right from the beginning to the end of the match. So throughout is used to express that meaning. Some of the prepositions given here are a little bit confusing to students who are not very familiar with English grammar. We use on with time to indicate correct time or at a time arranged, not before, not later. The first sentence given in the slide says that the train started at the right time, not before or not after the intended time of its departure. When we use in with time, we mean at a time arranged or even before it, but certainly not after it. In the example, the students should be in the hall in time and they can also come to the hall even before the intended time or the fixed time. But they're definitely not supposed to come after that time. In other words, they should not be late. Now let us see the prepositions to, till, and until. To can be used of time and place. For example, going to somewhere. In the given example, to is used to indicate the duration of time, but till and until are used to indicate time only. Till is a positive expression and it is correctly used in the sentence shown in the slide, which is a positive sentence. Until is a negative expression and so it must be used only in a negative sentence as shown in the example. Another important function of preposition is to indicate a place of action. When the reference is merely general and no specific place is named, the preposition in is used. Look at the example. In that sentence, no specific city is named. Therefore, the word cities is preceded by the preposition in. For the names of countries, continents, and large land areas such as counties, departments, or provinces, and for capital cities or the names of large towns, preposition in is used. Since London is a capital city, the preposition in is used. In the next sentence, preposition at is used before the word Stratford because Stratford is a village. For villages and smaller towns, at is used. For the kind of house or residence, when no specific name is mentioned, preposition in is used. In the next example, the word bungalow stands for a kind of residence and its name is not mentioned. So, in is used here. But for a particular house or place of residence, at must be used. In the example, the word Raj Bhavan indicates the name of a particular residence. That is why preposition at is used in that sentence. We use preposition in for the names of streets and roads. Preposition in is used because the name of a street, Baker Street, is mentioned in that sentence. These were some examples to show how prepositions are to be used when indicating different places. Prepositions are used to indicate different places of work. A change in the preposition can change the place of work. If the place of work is a building, then preposition in must be used. For example, we say in an office, in a shop, in a factory, in a restaurant, etc. Here, preposition in is used before the word bank because bank is a building. But if the place of work is not a building, then we should not use the preposition in. For example, on a farm, on an estate, on a plantation, etc. See the next example. Here, the place of work is a farm and so preposition on is used before it. Farm is not a building and it is also an open space. Preposition on is placed before open workplaces. So when I say I work in railways, I mean I work in a railway station or inside the railway office. But when I say I work on railways, I mean I work outside the railway station or railway office. I may be a track keeper. Here, we can see that when the preposition changes, even the job itself changes. If the sentence expresses a particular place of work, then preposition at is used. In the example, the name of the place of work, that is town hall, is clearly mentioned. Hence, preposition at is used in that sentence. We use preposition in when we want to mention a particular room or department. So, in the next example, in is used before the department manuscripts department, and at is used before British Museum, which is the name of a particular place of work. These guidelines will surely help us to use the prepositions in the right way. While examining the nature of prepositions, we have understood that prepositions have different functions. One such function is to indicate travel and movement. The prepositions mentioned here have this function. The first two examples express arrival. Well, we arrive at a village or any other destination, preferably a smaller area. But we arrive in a town, city, or a country. The preposition at refers to exact location. Here it is airport. Whereas in refers to a vaster area. The given examples clearly illustrate this fact. What is the difference between in and into? Well, if we observe these examples, we can understand that preposition in indicates position, especially a resting position, and the preposition into indicates movement. Example expresses the movement of the snake. So, into is used there. Also note that this is the same case with on and upon. On indicates resting position and upon shows movement of an action. For example, cat jumped upon the rat. Now let us look at a few sets of prepositions that look identical. Even though they seem to be identical, they convey different meanings. We have to be very careful when we use these prepositions. Look at the slide for the first pair, below and under. Both of them are used to show that a person or a thing is in a lower position, but they are different. Below indicates lower than, but not necessarily vertical. See the example given in the slide. The sentence does not give a vertical picture of up and down of something concrete. The word position is abstract in nature, so preposition below is used here. But in the second sentence, two concrete things, they and tree, are mentioned. The sentence shows the vertical picture of two things. Here, under is a correct preposition because it is used to show lower than and covered by the thing, here trees, in a higher position. Let us examine the next pair, above and on. Above means higher than and not touching the surface of the thing below. In the example, the photo does not touch the piano. Therefore, preposition above is used here. But on means higher than and touching the surface of the thing below. In the second example, we can see that the bag touches the table, so on is rightly used here. Look at the three prepositions given in the slide: beside, between, and among. We use beside and between when there are only two persons or things involved. So the prepositions beside and between are used correctly in the first and second sentences respectively. Among is used when there are more than two persons or things involved. In the third sentence, the word friends indicates more than two. It can be three or more. Hence, among is used in that sentence. Please note that the preposition beside has the same meaning as next to. It is not to be confused with besides, which means in addition to. Similar is the case with above and over. The temperature rises above 40 degrees centigrade. The plane flew over the sea. Here, above indicates a vertical movement, whereas over indicates a horizontal movement. Well, so far, we have learned some of the most important rules regarding the usage of prepositions. We have noticed that the meaning of preposition varies from sentence to sentence. A constant acquaintance with prepositions will help us to use it properly in sentences. Thank you.